Welcome back to another review. This one is on the Cuddle Cooperative, the Fairyland Diaper, and this is pretty much what the packaging looks like. Comes in a pack of 10. What it looks like. And when I received the package, never had this happen with any other company before, but this was in with the diapers in the package. So yeah, this review is pretty much based on the diaper itself and my experience with it. From my experience, from my test I did yesterday, yeah. So, this is what it looks like out of the package. This is the print. Has little fairies on it. 2 fairies, a gnome smoking a bubble pipe, and flowers all around. There's like flowers and mushrooms print all around. So this is the back of it, the design. So it comes in 2 sizes, medium and large. Specifically, the size I fit in is medium. Even though my waist is 31 inches, it says the medium is range from 32 to 40-inch waist, and on me it fits snug, even though I'm an inch difference than what their measurements show. Their large fits 36 to 50-inch waist. There's 10 diapers per bag, and if you buy a case, that's 4 bags per case. And it has a strong plastic backing. That means this plastic here. The capacity on it is 5,000 ml. And with that 5,000 ml capacity, it's saying it's like overnight absorbency, pretty much. It has, it's like with that capacity, I was able to, with my test personally, I was able to get about 4 wettings out of it. But part of my issue was the way I had it put on, because the way it folded on me right in the crotch area. So, because there's like 2 different variations, or like variations of how it can get put on. And one method is a little bit better than the other. The best way I can describe it is on me. I can show on the here. This version right here is how it folded around the crotch area like this. And if it does that, the absorbency doesn't absorb evenly. So it can end up having issues because the lower parts, like here and to the sides, end up where most of the liquid would flow to before absorbing, even though it was quick absorbing. If you end up having it like this when you put it on, this one, it tends to like have that canal or channel like that. where it's rounded like this, it ends up absorbing more like equally throughout the whole thing with the distribution. So keep that in mind. And it has, if you look right here, how it's more shiny, where the layer is right here, that's where the tape strip is to adhere to. And you look at the tapes, it has 4, and they're really quiet when you take them off, which is a really good thing. The thing I like is it's a little more discreet, especially if you're in a public setting like a bathroom and changing. It's not as loud, but on the tape strip right here, it's like from here to here. If you stick it on, it will be loud if you have to readjust it to take it off. And this is what the inside looks like. It has those little dots, and it's the blue core on this one, which helps it to absorb a lot easier. And it has really tall, like it says here that it's a 1.5 inch leg, like the leak guards. So this is how tall they are. And with my experience with it so far, it's because the issue I had, it wasn't like the manufacturer or anything, it was a user error. Because when I put it on, it ended up being folded like this in the crotch area instead of being like this, how I usually have it on diapers. So it ended up pulling towards one side more where the leak guards are. And there was one small little spot that felt like it kind of leaked a little bit, but that was just a user error. Because if I would have had it, if you have it more like this one, you won't have issues. So yeah, even though it's snug, that was a user error on my part. So with my test. And with that said, the other aspects of it, I used it from when I got out of the shower in the morning all the way till when I got ready for bed that night. And that's the span I used it, and I was able to roughly get about 4 wettings out of it. Even though usually I can, with a more higher capacity, I'm able to get about 5, maybe 5.5. But this was about 3 to about 4. And at the 3rd wetting, it was starting to feel wet. And when I look into like any kind of like the Abedale diapers, there's like 5 points I usually look into. It's like, is it comfortable? Because with my skin, because I have autism as well, and my skin's sensitive, so a lot of the times some fabrics or materials or things may or may not be comfortable for me, or how it's made. And it's really comfortable against my skin, and I didn't have issues wearing it for a full day with that. And is it discreet is one of the points. The only thing I can say is wear the clothing for your absorbency levels, and it'll be more discreet. Like if you wear skirts or dresses, obviously, the only part is where the butt is where you see it more. If I can show you quickly, this is what it looks like under this girdle, under my bloomers, if you can see, because it's more through here, and the absorbency went up to about here in the back, and so yeah, so that's how discreet it is, and where the absorbency went up to when I tested. And when I noticed when I did the first weighting, then by the second weighting, it was kind of feeling like how some diapers have that waddle cut to it. It started to feel like kind of like that, being like the absorbency, because it swelled a significant amount by the second weighting, and it felt kind of like a waddle cut with how much was filling in between right there. And it did, and this is one of the other points for those who are into it, it did become really squishy. So by the third wetting, it was feeling really, really squishy and more towards the wet side. So yeah. And another point, if you're into this, because not all diaper wearers are into this, but does it turn you on or turn me on specifically? It kind of did. So if you're into that, it can. So yeah. And the other, is it crinkly? That means the sound that comes from just by wearing it. Out of all the different ones I personally have tried and worn, this one seems to be the least crinkly out of all of them. And this is the best. If you can hear, if I press on the front, that's the only part that's really the most crinkliest is the front, but just moving around and doing things, not really noticeable. So yeah, and it did contain all the smell, so I didn't really have much of smells coming out of it, except for the spray I sprayed down there in it, the specifically the Summer's Eve spray for down there, or you can spray it like on pads or your underwear or just the general area down there. That's what I used on, and I didn't notice much of urine smells or anything with that combination. And it was pretty much the baby powder scent one I used. And if you're interested in that, I'll also link that in the description, where I also got the diapers as well. So yeah, any other aspects I can say besides the cuteness print on it, because this is a print once again. This is what it looks like, and the sides have this design on it going all the way, and it does on the waist has the elastic waist on front and back that is stretchy but still snug. So that's another good point on them, because I find the ones with the elastic waist actually fit better when adjusting, because it gives more of a snugger fit. And I can't say much more about them besides the cuteness and what I've already said about them. cost point for them, it was about $39 plus shipping. So because there's several places you can get it directly on their website, and the other place I found them was My Inner Baby's website, which the shipping was slightly different on each one. So I just chose the one that was a little bit more affordable for me based on the shipping. So yeah, other than that, I find it comfortable, cute, and it seems to be more towards my style now, from all the other ones I have tried. So yeah, and if you have any more questions, please comment below, and I will do the best I can to get to all those comments. And we'll see you in the next video when that happens. So this was the review on the brand specifically is the Cuddle Cooperative, and it's the Fairyland diaper, and it's the only one they have right now, and I'm not sure if they will be making more in the future, but this was the review on that, and see you in that next video. Until my next review.